Hey everybody, Ryan Schramm, broker and owner of Ryan Schramm Real Estate here in San Clemente. Wanted to give you guys a quick market update and touch on a few new real estate laws that are coming into effect in 2022. Stay tuned. All right, so for last month's market update, I mentioned something very important. The year-over-year appreciation that we'd have seen from last month over the course of the last year was 18%. And that is huge. A lot of us, like when we're out talking, my clients and I, and even friends, knowing that I'm a realtor, they're always asking me like, hey, what do you think is going to happen in the market? What have you seen in the market? And so it's a question I get all the time. And the conversations that we're having is like, man, how long can everybody, consumers keep up with this real estate price and the increase, the trajectory that we're on? And I think you're going to get your questions answered on that today. We did some homework, as we're always doing homework and studying the market. And we went out and we took a look at what 5 of the top forecasters are predicting for the next year in real estate. So who are these forecasters? Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, National Association of Realtors, HPES, just to name a few of the big ones. These are companies, entities with full-time chief economic forecasters who watch and study the market. So that's where we get this information. And nobody has a crystal ball or knows exactly what's going to happen, but these entities and companies have been very accurate for a long time. They've been a great resource for us. So what are they predicting for the next year? The average of the 5 forecasting entities is that over the next 12 months, the market's going to appreciate by 5.2%. So that's going to feel like we're decelerating. We are decelerating, but that's almost going to feel like we're hitting the brakes. We're not going to be hitting the brakes, but going from 18% down to 5% is going to be a big deceleration. So I think what that's going to translate in our market to is it's going to allow inventory to build back up a little bit because it's been so tight. There hasn't, if the housing market was a grocery store, there's nothing on the shelves. You walk through the chip aisle and there's like a few bags of chips here and there. It's not stuffed full like it has been in the past. So that's why the housing market has been so hot, scalding hot really. So over the next 12 months, I think we'll see some inventory pile up. We'll see that it's not as competitive when a house hits the market. Now, is it a crash? Are we trending downward? No. 5% appreciation is manageable. It's more realistic. It's sustainable. So I think it's a good thing from that standpoint. So if you're a buyer who's kind of been trying to wait out this market, this may or may not be what you wanted to hear, that they're forecasting another 5% of appreciation over the next 12 months. So I don't know if it makes sense to wait out the market. I mean, interest rates are so good. That's more important if you're going to be holding that property for a significant duration of time, 3 to 5 years. It's more important to lock in that low rate, lock in a lower payment. So if you have questions on that, reach out to me. If you're thinking about selling and you're like, what does this mean for my property right now? We just launched an Ocean View listing this week, and that property has had a ton of attention. I mean, 7 showings yesterday. We've got 7 or 10 showings right around there happening today. So for the right property, the market is extremely hot. If you're looking at a property with some material condition where it might back a busy road or it's significantly outdated, those properties are not as easy to sell as they were in the spring. So something to consider for you. Now, the second part of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, new laws that have been put into effect starting 2022, Senate Bill 9 and Senate Bill 10, both signed into action. These bills were designed to alleviate the California housing crisis, the demand on housing. And I'm going to keep my personal and professional opinions out of it and just bring you what these laws state. If you want to talk more about, my opinions on what that's going to mean, call me. But SB9 basically states, or I should say, it basically does away with single-family zoning as we know it. If a property owner occupies a property, there are options to create an additional 3 units on that property, so a total of 4. There are some caveats to that. The owner needs to sign an affidavit with the state that they will remain at the property for 3 years. But if they sign that affidavit and they follow the normal, permitting rules for setbacks and construction and things like that, it is possible for a property owner to get an additional 3 units for a total of 4 in a single family neighborhood. And then Senate Bill 10 touches on that in areas of commerce and transit, where there's bus stops, major thoroughfares, that local governments can put up to 10 unit properties in those areas that they deem necessary. I just did a full-length video on SB9 and 10, so go ahead and check that out. I'll link it below. And as always, if you guys have any question on what's happening in the market, or if you have any questions on these new Senate bills, call me or text me. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.